When we think of the Jurassic period, our minds often drift to the terrestrial giants. The thundering Brachiosaurus or the prowling Allosaurus. But during the Mesozoic, the land was only half the story. Beneath the waves of the ancient Tethys Sea lurked a predator so formidable that it has become a legend of pop culture and paleontology alike. This is Liopleurodon ferox, immortalized by the BBC's Walking with Dinosaurs as a 25-meter-long sea monster. This marine reptile captured the world's imagination as the ultimate leviathan. However, in the decades since that iconic broadcast, science has stripped away the myth to reveal something perhaps even more fascinating. A high-performance, precision-engineered ambush predator that ruled the oceans not through sheer size, but through terrifying efficiency. Today, we journey back 160 million years to meet the true king of the Jurassic Deep. To understand Liopleurodon, we first have to understand what it wasn't. While it belonged to the order Plesiosauria, it looked nothing like the Loch Ness Monster archetype. Instead, it was a member of the Pliosauridae, a family that traded the long, graceful necks of their cousins for massive, bone-crushing skulls and powerful, short necks. The body of Liopleurodon was built for power. It possessed 4 massive paddle-like flippers that worked in unison to fly through the water, much like a modern sea turtle or penguin, but on a much grander scale. Its tail was reduced to a small rudder, as the heavy lifting was done by those 4-wheel drive limbs. This anatomy suggests an animal capable of incredible bursts of acceleration, the perfect build for a predator that strikes from the shadows. No discussion of Liopleurodon is complete without addressing the elephant in the room, or rather, the whale in the ocean. In the late 1990s, the public was told that Liopleurodon could reach 25 meters in length and weigh 150 tons, making it larger than a blue whale. These estimates were based on fragmentary vertebrae and a massive enthusiasm for spectacular television. Modern paleontology has since brought these numbers back down to Earth. By comparing complete skulls with post-cranial remains, researchers now estimate that a large adult Liopleurodon typically reached between 5 and 7 meters, with exceptionally large individuals perhaps pushing 10 meters. While this is a far cry from the 25-meter monster of television, don't let the smaller numbers fool you. At 7 meters and several tons, Liopleurodon was still a massive, apex carnivore, roughly the size of a modern killer whale, but armed with a skull that made up nearly a quarter of its entire body length. The story of Liopleurodon began in 1873 when French paleontologist Henri-Émile Sauvage described a single 3-inch tooth found in the Boulogne-sur-Mer region of France. He named the creature Liopleurodon, which translates to smooth-sided tooth, referring to the distinct texture of its dental crown. The genus was later refined through the work of legendary fossil collectors like Alfred Leeds, who unearthed spectacular specimens in the Oxford clay of England. For much of the 20th century, Liopleurodon was often confused with its close relatives, such as Pliosaurus. It took nearly 100 years of meticulous fossil preparation and comparative anatomy for scientists to finally distinguish the unique features of the smooth-sided tooth and recognize it as the dominant predator of the Colovian and Oxfordian stages of the Jurassic.
How did this reptile rule the waves? Evidence suggests Liopleurodon was the ultimate ambush specialist. Its skull was equipped with large nostrils that weren't just for breathing. They were part of a sophisticated underwater smelling system. By sensing the chemical signatures in the water, it could track prey from miles away, much like a modern shark. Once a target was located, Liopleurodon likely utilized countershading, a dark back to blend into the deep water when viewed from above, and a light belly to vanish against the sunlit surface when viewed from below. It would lurk in the murky depths, waiting for a marine reptile or a large fish to pass overhead. With a sudden, explosive beat of its four flippers, it would launch upward, its conical teeth designed to pierce and hold on to the most slippery of prey. Stomach contents from related plesiosaurs have revealed everything from squid-like cephalopods to the bones of other marine reptiles, proving that nothing in the Jurassic Sea was off the menu.
The world Liopleurodon inhabited was a far cry from the cold North Sea of today. Europe was a sprawling archipelago of subtropical islands, surrounded by shallow, crystal-clear lagoons and deep oceanic trenches. This was the Oxford clay ecosystem, a biodiversity hotspot. In these waters, Liopleurodon shared the sea with Ophthalmosaurus, an ichthyosaur with eyes the size of dinner plates, and Leeds ichthys, the largest ray-finned fish to ever live. While a healthy 16-meter Leeds ichthys might have been too large for a lone Liopleurodon to kill, these giant fish likely provided a feast for scavengers whenever they succumbed to age or injury. The shorelines were patrolled by crocodilian ancestors like Metriorhynchus, while the islands themselves were home to early dinosaurs like Eustreptospondylus. It was a world of constant motion and danger, where the line between the land and the sea was blurred by the tide.
The reign of Liopleurodon eventually came to an end as the Jurassic shifted into the Cretaceous. Changing sea levels and the rise of new marine lineages, including even larger pliosaurs like Kronosaurus, eventually pushed the smooth-sided tooth into extinction. However, its legacy remains unshakable. Liopleurodon taught us that the Mesozoic oceans were just as complex and competitive as the land. It stands as a reminder that science is a process of refinement. We may have lost the 25-meter monster of our childhood documentaries, but in its place, we gained a much more realistic and terrifyingly efficient predator. As we continue to pull new fossils from the clay of Europe, the story of this Jurassic king is far from over.
Thank you for joining us on this deep-sea exploration. Liopleurodon remains one of the most iconic figures in the history of life on Earth, a creature that bridged the gap between scientific fact and cinematic myth. Whether it was 7 meters or 25, the terror of the Jurassic Seas continues to command our respect and fuel our curiosity about the world that time forgot. If you enjoyed this look at the life of Liopleurodon, don't forget to like and subscribe for more journeys into the prehistoric past. Until next time, keep looking for the shadows beneath the waves.